Wow. Oui. No, it's very nice. It's lovely. I really like that. I love that. Yeah, the way he comes down is nice. Yeah. Nice. Okay, I'm watching it for enjoyment. Good job. Which is the part that you wanna?
So from frame, I think it's 51. It's where he's sort of looking over the flower at the start. That's so that one, and then to when he to frame 370 is probably I'm kind of happy with. I've taken it as far as like I feel like I'm.
This one?
My ability, yeah, pretty much that section. And if you just wanted to, just go through and just any posing notes or timing or whatever you like, you feel like you want to comment on, just the flower is still, like there's one section where the flower isn't quite connecting. That bit there, that the flower's not quite connecting. So just keep in mind that the flower's not 100% there yet, but the rigs pretty much done.
This part. Okay, let's explore. I think that posing in general is beautiful. I think most of the things I'm feeling is timing wise. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. Yeah, like this is one good example. For example, I don't even look at the rest. That when you have a pose like that, where you're starting to use smears, where it's clearly like kind of like a down pose, like let's say a very extreme breakdown. That means that at least you should be at least not more than 3 frames. So, and you have 4, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, you have 5 actually. You have 5 frames on this pose. So I would tie it up or made it a little bit, the timing structure a little bit different. So for example, you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 9. This is 8. This feels good. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's 5. So you have 8, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 6 on that. So you have 8, 5, 6. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this one you have 3. You have then 3. 3, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Okay. So if we look at this structure that you have here, okay, of timing, numbers, okay? In this thing, I wouldn't break my head too much. I would be as mathematical as possible. It's very just simple. If we know that this is, let's say, this is the anticipation or the beginning. This is when he is here. So this is a golden pose where he is anticipating before the, right? So after this, everything has already energy, right? So it makes sense that for this pose, whichever the pose is, we have to hold it, right? So we know that from here, you're going to have some kind of movement that if we apply just the principles of spacing, we have weak spacing and then we reduce, and then pump, pump, we start to open more, right? So whatever we know is that if this is a big number, there has to be a big number here as well, right? We could say maybe 8 as well, why not? The thing is that what is happening, if we look at this, what is happening instead is that we're going down the numbers, right? Even though that this one, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is good. So actually, you're going down, and then in this one, it feels like you have like another 8. So this is very nice. What I would suggest is that these numbers, I would go for something more simple. Like this could be 4, this could be 2, 2, 2, and then you could go up to 8, or maybe you go 4 and another 4 after that. So I would restructure the timing like that, because what is happening, I'm just putting, let's say, mind to what I'm feeling. And what I'm feeling is that it feels slow. Movement, it feels slow, okay? So when I have that sensation, what I do is, okay, I'm just gonna put my mind for the second and not use much my feeling, because sometimes the feeling for timing doesn't really help too much. I know that if I am holding something for 6 frames and I'm going for something that maybe I want to hold it for 6 frames and I have a transition, I know that maybe I want to go for 2, 2 and 2, or 2 or 2. Mm-hmm. Boom, boom. Right? But usually 2, 2, 2 is good because it's out, big gap, and it's near, it's in. Right? So you could use the same kind of thought also show that. Here, for example, feels the same. Feels like it's slow. So let's see why. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see, you have 6 frames in this breakdown, right? So probably you could have this one. I would bring it. I would actually explore first with 2 and see how it feels. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have 4. And then you're doing something with the hand. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Yeah, those probably you're on 4s there, which is not bad. But at least that part I would speed it up a little bit. Maybe you probably actually, what I would say, you need a little bit more of definition. So instead of having this, that is 5 frames.
Yeah.
Maybe what I would do is I would do 2 breakdowns, one in here, more or less with 2, and another one before this that is more like kind of like around here, let's say like 70% of where you're going, that has another 2. So you would have 2, 2, and then this, I'm afraid that because of the shape of the flower, when we see these frames where we can see how the shape of the petals and the fingers are getting mixed up, visually speaking, it gets a little too difficult to read, too complex. So instead of doing like an overshoot, instead of going forward and then going back a little bit or down, actually, for grabbing, what you're doing is you're going up and then down to grab it. I would have this, let's say, anticipation pose in a position where it's more clear, so we can read it a little better. Maybe there, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I would try to do that because otherwise the shape of the flower and those fingers are making it a little bit difficult to read. Not only that, this pose here, I don't know how you had it before, but now it's a little difficult to read because of the petals.
Yeah.
So you could work those petals. Maybe you can just bring them up a little bit. So we have clearly those fingers, you see, a little better to read.